Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the crunkest show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the Warzone. I am your host, the five-star general, and I've been quiet for about the last 48 hours, and that's because I've been resting. I had to do some homework. Uh, and I tell you what, tonight we're going to recap the elections, and we're going to go over some things that I saw. Hold on. Go over some things that I saw and go over some of the stuff that happened in the elections. First of all, congratulations to everybody that won. No matter how it was, how it came about, you won and you're back in office and you're taking office if you're new. And what we expect is for you to do your jobs. That's what we expect. I mean, some people are like, man, you tough on folks. And when it's election time, you don't expect any favors from me. When it's election time, if you've not done your job, I'm going to try to tear your ass apart and try to help get somebody up in there. But the big red wave didn't happen in Harris County. It's a lot of things that did happen, but the big red wave did not happen if you say everything was done ethically. It did not happen. But I will say, tell Rodney Ellis that old five-star got one of his boys, though. Yeah, Tammy Pierce will be the new judge in the courtroom that Deshaun Jackson was in. You out of there, homie. And one of my clients helped her as much as I could, and she was able to pull it off. I really wasn't into the client thing this election, but I saw some value in getting this guy off the bench. Now, in Harris County, there were 5 judges that got flipped. From what I understand, and I didn't really go and look at it because I needed to decompress, there were 4 men and 1 woman that lost their seat. It's been proven that African American women are not going to vote for African American men. That's just the trend. And those 4 guys lost their seats. And one of them lost their seat to my client, Tammy Pierce. Congratulations, my sister. You know, I know you'll go in and you will be very, very impartial. You will not, violate your judicial canons, and you will do a great job. Now, if you were a part of this election in Harris County, you saw a bunch of strange things happen. During the course of early voting, we saw voting machines being moved in the middle of a day by people that had no clue what they were doing. This is what they were saying, that they had no clue why they were moving those machines. But then you had a judge come out and say, at one voting poll that they were moving the machines because they were full and the guy had to take them somewhere else. Well, he didn't even know where he was taking them. He just knew that he needed to come and get 6 machines. But according to the judge, he should have only gotten 3. So that was strange on that part. The morning of the election, you had a bunch of voting machines that mysteriously were not working across Harris County. And these are tons of machines everywhere. I think at West Gray, where I was, there's over 50 machines. And when they started off the morning, only about 6 to 10 of them were working. So I was able to see a lot of people leave and did not vote because they couldn't stay. Some people were voting on their way to work and they couldn't stay because these machines were not working. I find it kind of ironic, which I knew that they would do something. And a lot of people want to say, well, it's no cheating in Harris County. Well, justify these machines. These machines, which were purchased last year, cost $50 million. $50 million with 700 and I think 92 voting locations. Just imagine if you lost 100 votes at every voting location, 792. Do the math. There were tons of machines not working. This is not something that we can excuse because you disenfranchised some voters, whether they were black, whether they were white, Asian, Latino, LGBTQ, whether they Republican or Democrat, you disenfranchised a lot of voters on election day. There's going to be some fallout from that. And you had voting polls that opened up late. Some polls opened up as late as 11 a.m. So they decide, okay, well, we're going to file a TRO and we're going to get these polls to stay open a little bit later. So if you voted after 7 o'clock, your vote doesn't count. Your vote does not count. No matter what they told you, your vote does not count. So that in itself tells me that we got some issues in Harris County, which we always knew we had issues with the voting process. And you know, it impacted some local races. I don't think it impacted the statewide races that much, but I know they could call the governor's race before they even got the numbers from Harris County. The Beto lost to Greg Abbott, which I called that one before it happened. I knew that would happen. And I'm going to tell you, you know, how I feel about Mr. Beto and the fact that he lost. One, he did not value African-American voters, whether you were whether you were male or female. It didn't matter. He disengaged from the community when he knew for a long time that he was going to run. He comes through at the last minute, starts dumping money off in these churches, especially the AME churches. And this is the reason you saw him at some of these churches. And that tells me that these pastors are on the payroll. And you're bringing these people through our communities to try and placate the black voters. Well, black voters didn't show up at the polls as usual. Latinos were mysteriously missing. Well, you know, a lot of them are not even, a few of them, a handful of them are not even U.S. citizens, so they cannot vote. And the bottom line is the Democratic Party and the Republican Party has some work to do. Let's start with the Democratic Party, who's in shambles at this moment statewide. They're in shambles, and they know it. They don't know how to engage the community anymore. They don't have a clue on how to do it. They don't understand that you're going to have to do more than just show up with the rah-rah factor. You're going to have to put candidates in these races that, one, give a voice to the communities that are underserved. And the people that you're trying to put in office from the Democratic side, and I'm going to the Republican side, from the Democratic side, they're not worth two dead flies smushed together, especially on the state level. Now, on the state level, you can look at and ask yourself the million-dollar question. Who are they going to run in 2 to 4 years in these elections? I don't think Beto has the drawing power to be able to run for one of those seats and somebody take him serious this time. I don't think that that'll happen, to run a fourth time and they take him serious, you know, because he's giving it his best shot, I guess. I don't understand. You know, for 2 weeks at early voting, the man barely had any signs at the polls, barely had anybody pushing cards, but I know he dumped a ton of money on y'all down here in Harris County. I know a lot of you consultants and some of you big wig Democrats, y'all got a lot of that man money, and you fucked him again. You fucked him 2 years ago and you fucked him again. I think he just likes being fucked, because y'all don't do nothing but take his money. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did see at the polls. I saw a division between Republicans and Democrats that was straight up appalling to me. You know, I was sitting close to a tent, and this tent was provided by the caucus. And if you know what the caucus is in Harris County, it's the I think it's the LGBTQ caucus, and they provided a tent. Now, everybody that's working for everybody, Republican, Democrat, we all know each other. We didn't work to other places with each other. So one morning, you know, they didn't bring any water for their people at all. So, I'm like, man, let's get some water for these people. It didn't matter to me if they were working for a Republican person. But the people that were working the Democratic side had nasty, nasty attitudes. Nasty, nasty attitudes. And it was like one of the guys, I think it was Judge Kovach's husband, questioned why there were sodas in their cooler. You know what I'm saying? Well, they didn't have nothing to drink. So basically what he told me, you Republican, take the sodas out the cooler. Man, fuck you. Man, for real, fuck you, dog. Y'all don't think much of these people to bring them nothing to eat, no sodas, no nothing, no water. Ain't nobody taking shit out that cooler. But you don't need to sit under the tent. What he didn't know is I had my own goddamn tent. But I'm using that as an example because the ones that were Democratic had nasty attitudes with people that were pushing Republicans. But as I sat and I analyzed for days, I saw some of the same people running their mouth that had Republican signs. They were Democrats, staunch Democrats, but had Republican signs and working for the Republicans covertly. I saw this with my own eyes. I saw it with my own eyes. And I know, some people are like, wow, that's unbelievable. No, it's not. They out here for the money. They out here to get money from anybody they can get money from. That's what they're out here for. And I saw it with my own eyes. And, to sit there and me and you get into an argument or me getting an argument with somebody that's a Democrat, that ain't finna happen. Because I know how y'all get down. Y'all just out here for the money. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all are just out here for the money. And that's the only thing that matters. I saw a lot. And I had some very interesting conversations. I had a great conversation with a guy that was trans. And I actually told him that I don't understand the lifestyle. So he broke it down to me. We had a great conversation. Two people just having a conversation. And that's the way it should be. That doesn't mean I'm going to support trans issues. That doesn't mean that I'm going to agree that, if you're trans, you get to play sports with girls. No, that means that two people, one black, one white, or one Latino, had a conversation, and for over an hour, not an argument. Not an argument. From the Republican side, they need to do more voter outreach, and they need to value their African American candidates more. If you want African American candidates to galvanize their community, you're going to have to get behind them. Because there were several that you didn't put no muscle behind in Fort Bend, as well as Harris County. You didn't. And I really think that it's time for the Republican Party, and that this is going to shock some people. But I told you I was going to be fat tonight. That it's time for the Republican Party to move on from all the cheating aspect of it. Look, my coach used to teach us something. And what I mean by that is you're spending a lot of time trying to prove that they're cheating. We know that they're cheating to a certain degree. But you're going to have to learn how to beat the referees. And the only way that you beat the referees in a game that seemed like it's stacked, you got to keep scoring. What I mean by that is you're going to have to do more voter outreach. You're going to have to do more registering people to vote. You're going to have to go into areas that you never thought you had to go into. You see what I'm saying? And do more voter outreach if you want to accomplish your goal. Do I think the state of Texas is in a good place after this election? No. No, I don't at all. I mean, I think that we're at the same spot. But now the legislators get to go back to Austin and they get to battle again. And they get to battle for certain laws or whatever they're going to try to push and go across. I'll be down in Austin like I'm supposed to, speaking in different committees and talking to legislators about what we need to do and how we need to do it and how to accomplish the goal. And that's what the voters need to start doing, is become a part of the process at the legislative level. That's what you have to do. You have to become a part of the process so that you can understand how this goes. But I think this election showed a lot of people inside of their hearts that as African Americans, we've been devalued. We have been devalued. No matter if you're Republican or Democrat, we have been devalued. We're not important to people until it's certain times. And from an African American standpoint, I think we're going to have to push the D's and the R's to the side. And I think that Black people have to come together as a collective, and they're going to have to figure out what our communities need. And whoever that is in office at that time, we're going to have to get on their behinds, and we're going to have to make them address those needs and wants of the African American community, because that's the only way that we are going to be taken seriously. Now, if they can't address the issues, then now you either vote for somebody else or you hold your vote. This was a prelim to 24. So in 23 in Harris County, you know what's coming up. You got school board elections, city council elections, you got HCC elections. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, some of y'all going to get y'all ass told from the bone. Y'all going to get your ass told from the bone. Maybe, people like Sally Alcorn, who wants to be at large again, maybe now is the time for you to start coming in to the community and start going to church before next August. Maybe it's time for you to come engage the community that you beg for votes and that you've been absent from ever since you got those votes. You feel what I'm saying? It's time for some of you city council people that ain't did jack shit for 4 years to understand that you finna get caught up. And if you don't get caught up, you need to pray to God that you know how to cheat in a fashion that you never get caught in. Because, hold on, let me check something. Y'all. Okay. Let me get up out of here. Okay, let me double check. Okay. You need to make sure that you start doing the work. And I mean, to come through now and do 1 year's worth of work when you've been in office for 4, I don't think that's sufficient. I think that especially you at-large city council people that can go anywhere and do anything, you've forgotten about Third Ward. You've forgotten about Sunnyside. You've forgotten about Harlem Clark. You forgot about Greens Point. You forgot about Cashmere Garden. You forgot about Fifth Ward. You forgot about, Trinity Garden, Northeast Houston. You have done jack shit. Nothing. So we got to get prepared for these next set of elections. And that includes school board members. On the tickets for next year will be incumbent Kathy Buford Daniels from District 2. You'll have Danny Hernandez and Judith Cruz, as well as Patricia Allen. Danny Hernandez and Judith Cruz, you're not getting no Black votes. I'm telling you right now. Enjoy your last year because you're coming up out them seats. I'm going to put the muscle behind whoever running against you. You have been racist. You have tried to get the police off our campuses to accommodate certain people. You have listened to your big donors, your charter school peoples, and you have been a part of damn near destroying the Houston Independent School District. So don't think that you can go to the Black side of your neighborhoods and tell them lies, because I'm going to be all over your ass. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So hold on a second. If y'all can hear me say something, because for some reason, I don't think this thing working right. Okay, hold on a second. Let's get up out of here. Let's see. Yeah. So the thing is you have HCC, where you have people You have people that are going to be running for office with the Houston Community College system, one of the most racist educational systems in the country as it comes to African Americans that work for the college. You know, since Maldonado over there, the president, has been caught up in scandal after scandal. And it's just time to get rid of some of these HCC trustees. It's just time to get rid of some of them because they have not actually done anything to help us. Let's read some of these comments. Vanilla Hudson say this is going to be good. Kedrick Simpson, how do Sheila Jackson Lee keep winning? And it's simple, Kedrick. She keeps winning because she knows how to play the game. She knows how to come through at the right time and play the game. And it's all a game. It's all a game. You know, she'll be at every funeral. Ain't no question. She gonna get some mic time and some camera time everywhere she go. But when you look at her overall job description and what she should be doing, she's failed miserably. Miserably is how she's done. She's failed miserably. But people keep putting her back in office, so I have to say congratulations to her too, because she did win. So you can't complain about crime in the county when you had the opportunity to go to the polls, and it's like, I think almost 3 million people that did not vote. Well, you can't complain about the crime when you've given commissioner's court to the Democrats 4-1. 4-1. Ramsey's by itself now against Ellis and his folk. You're not going to get nothing done. And for those that are celebrating, you know, Jack Cagle being gone and Adrian Garcia getting voted back in, watch your taxes. Watch how they do you. Now you're going to understand why those Republicans kept walking out and they would not come. Watch your taxes. They're going to use every excuse in the world. Crime is not going to do nothing but get worse. It's going to get worse. Don't complain about Hidalgo if you didn't go vote. Don't complain about Hidalgo. Now, people say, well, you're going to say congratulations to her? Fuck Lena Hidalgo. I'm not congratulating on a motherfucking thing. Because she trash as a politician. As a person, she might be all right. But as a politician, she's straight up hot garbage. That don't change with me. That does not change with me. In 24, you have the presidential elections. Ooh. And you'll have the state reps again coming through the thing, man. You feel what I'm saying? And then you'll have commissioner's court. You'll have Ellis up again. You see what I'm saying? Ellis and Ramsey, from what I understand. Do you really want to keep Rodney Ellis as a county commissioner after all the shit that we go through dealing with this dude and all the games that he plays and, you know, think he's better than everybody else? You want to make sure you keep him in office? Well, if you do, you do. But you can no longer complain about the conditions that we live in on a daily basis if you're not willing to do your civic duty. You can't complain about the crime when you're not doing what you need to do to get people in office that would deal with that. You'll have the mayor's race. Old Turner, he going into his last hoorah in 24. That's it. You're going to have to pick a new mayor of the city of Houston. And right now, it looks like John Whitmire in a race that won't even be close. So now the question is, did you do your part Tuesday? Did you do your part Tuesday? Because some of us, we know how to navigate these waters on a daily basis. We know how to navigate these waters on a daily basis, and we'll be just fine when it's all said and done. When it's all said and done, we'll be just fine. But some of you out there that are listening, Some of you that will share this video with family and friends will be impacted by the crime in Harris County in the next 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 years. You will be impacted some kind of way. It may be me. It may be me. But I know I do what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis for my community. So people say, well, oh, 5-star, you lost your race. And, did I even run one? What are you going to do? Are you going to run for something else? You goddamn right I'm going to run for something else. You know why? I get to do that because I do the work. I don't run a race and then I come up missing. I'm no longer in the community. I'm no longer out, doing the public appearances. And no, I work every single day in my community. And I'm going to keep running until we get something. Because right now I got 6,000 fans. I started off with 900 the first time I did it. Now I'm up to 6,000. So guess what? I'm not going to disappoint those 6. I'm going to keep working just like I normally work. JR, what's happening, my brother? What's going on? I'm going to keep working and doing what I do. But for those that, one, go into your offices and be an attribute to your communities or the communities that you serve. If you're a judge, you know the issues that people had a problem with. And this is what really messed me up. Y'all complaining about these motherfucking judges, and all you get was 5? Don't complain about it no more then. What's going on, Kirk Freddy? Don't complain about it no more. I don't cry over spilt milk. I just wake up and get to moving like I'm supposed to move. I move like a crook move. You know how I go down. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. So I'm not going to stay long. I'm going to stay strong. But at the end of the day, I applaud you, those that were out there. I applaud Trevor Nelms on running a very good campaign and staying positive. I don't want to congratulate KP George because ain't nobody going to be clapping for you in a minute, homie. That's all I'm going to say. So now do you think that somebody will indict these people that have violated the law and have these investigations on the books? I think it's coming. I think we have to be patient. And in 24, you will see the Harris County District Attorney up for re-election. Do we keep Kim Hogg or do we go with somebody else who may run against her in the primary? I don't know. I think that there are going to be some surprises. I know things that you don't know. I think there will be some surprises. So to end this program, I will say how I honestly feel. Fuck Lena Hidalgo, fuck Rodney Ellis, fuck Adrian Garcia, and fuck any politician that's fucking over the people. It's the Warzone with the 5-star general. Every single night. Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Fuck y'all and have a good night. Ellis, you son of a bitch.